What's going on, brothers and sisters? I want to welcome you guys to Listener Feedback, episode number 54. And in this episode will be starring the Triple OG, Mr. Cody Clark, coming back for another week. I truly appreciate it, brother, and I can't wait to get into your thoughts and opinions. We also have coming back for another week, Mr. Consistency himself, Mr. C. Jack. Brother, he is written in and called. And as always, I can't wait to get to your email and your voicemails. Thank you again so much for writing and calling in. And we also have writing in, I like to call this brother Mr. Comeback Season himself, Mr. Crimson Phoenix. He has come back yet again to write in, and I am so appreciative. I love hearing from this brother. So I want to thank all of you guys for writing in and calling in this episode, because without y'all, this episode would not be happening. But as always, in this episode, we're going to cover a couple of things. We're going to discuss the cost-saving benefit of Game Pass. We're going to talk about whether or not physical games can actually make a comeback and become the preferred way people like to game. And we also get a very, very good suggestion on how we should move from this day forward on the prize giveaways. So with that being said, before we officially get into the show and get into the meat and potatoes of everything, if you do want to be a part of the next listener feedback, you can do so two different ways. You can either call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice be heard, or you can email the show, and the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. So you guys know how this works. I like to go in the order that I actually received the email. So let's go ahead and let's get things started with Mr. Crimson Phoenix, who writes in. And this is actually, now I don't even have to explain this. So the title of his email will describe everything. The title of his email is a suggestion, if I may, and share if you want a fan mail episode. So here we go. He says, this might help ensure you'll always know who redeemed a code. Now, of course, if you guys don't know, he's talking about the game giveaways that we do. Well, not game giveaways, but the gift card giveaways that we do every month, which that'll be coming up. I can tell you guys next week on the listener feedback episode next week, that'll be coming up. But he says, on your regular news episode, tell everybody what kind of code you'd like to give away, and have those whom are interested in said code email you that they'd like to be entered for a chance to be entered. How you choose the winner is up to you. But an example, if I may, have them include a number between 1 and 100 in the email they send, and use a website that has a random number generator, and then on the feedback episode announce the winner and send them the code via the email they used. Here's one. He actually had sent me a link to an actual number generator to actually have this, if we decide to go this way, to actually have the numbers actually pop up, a random number generator. So he continues with his email, which I do like this idea. He says you can choose from a number of different options, i.e. 1 to 100 or 1 to 1,000, etc. This will also prevent me from always being the winner like before. Yeah, this brother right here, he was cleaning up early on, man. This brother was always the one that was actually winning so many times. This brother he wasn't calling in, he was just making sure he did what he had to do. But let me continue with your email, man. This brother was winning a lot back in the day. He says, but I will say at least I never neglected to let you know. No, you did not, brother. Anytime you won, you always let me know that you won. He said, I did, just saying. He said, P.S. I know Cody is referred to the triple OG. In my opinion, I am an OG too. Oh man, I need a nickname. I leave that to you. Also, I'd be interested in Xbox gift cards. I wouldn't redeem PlayStation or Nintendo. Crimson Phoenix, you are now officially an OG, my brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Nah, Crimson Phoenix, he has definitely been rocking with us for quite some time as well. And he's always written in. He's never stopped writing in. And anytime, Crimson, anytime you are going to have to take a hiatus, you always say, listen, might not be able to write in or anything like that for a bit of a stint. But I will, come back, when I get a chance, once everything gets, back to normal. So I always appreciate that about you, Crimson. That's why I call you Comeback Season, brother. That is your name, Comeback Season. Anytime this brother leaves for a little bit, it's always, and trust me, I never take it for granted, Crimson. I never want you to think that I take it that way, but I'm always pretty positive, that this brother, once everything is back to normal, he's always going to come back around, man. So I am greatly appreciative to you. I do like this idea. I really, really do. So the question is, because for a while, and Crimson mentioned it, he always let me know via email or, a text or something, on the phone number for the podcast. He would always let me know, hey man, I got it, just letting you know I redeemed it. So the thing is that what Crimson is he's actually, kind of bringing to the circle here is, look, if you're interested in the card that'll be given away, email the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Pick a number between 1 or 100 or even 1 to 1,000. And if the number generator actually generates that number, then you win. And I can send you the confirmation of the gift card directly to your email. I actually love that idea. And I can tell you something, Crimson. The reason why I was actually giving away the gift cards the way that I have been is because I know some people may think, that, hey, man, I don't know, I might have won. How do I know if I didn't win? How do I know I didn't win even though I sent in that number? How do I know that number didn't really happen and you just gave it to somebody else instead? And I've always, tried to figure out how the world could I show that the number was real and it actually generated that number and that person actually won. And then I thought, well, what if none of the numbers actually come out to be true? What if it picked something like this 94 and the person said 91 or something like that? Then how do you actually determine who wins that way? So I always thought that, look, if I could do it any kind of way to make it as fair across the board as possible, just read off the numbers and the letters and leave it to you guys inside of the circle to figure that out. Whoever gets it, just the only thing I was asking is just make sure you let me know that you got it. Shout out to Hot Nicks. He actually did let me know via email that he got the $25 PlayStation gift card. Shout out to you, Hot Nicks. I appreciate you for that, my brother. I truly, truly do. But that's why I was like, well, why not just, have it that way? That way nobody can say, well, I probably should have won or I could have won, or how do I know you didn't prefer this person over that person? So, Crimson, that was my thinking on that, brother. Just trying to keep everything as even across the board as possible. And, next week, like I said, I can let you guys know it here. Next week, we'll be giving away another gift card, and that's probably going to determine it, really. I mean, all I'm asking is that, just let a brother know, just call. You can even, like Crimson Phoenix has done in the past, you can even use the phone number for the show to actually text me and let me know that you actually got it as well. So you got 3 different ways you can let me know. You can either let me know by email, by phone call, or by text on that same number, the 667 number. So again, it's going to be up to you guys to determine, how it happens or what happens. But just to let you know, Crimson, that's the only reason why I was doing it that way, was just to try to make it as even as I could. I know I've repeated myself probably like 10 times on that, but that's why I was just hoping that you guys would just let me know. Hopefully that's not a hard request, if you win, just to let me know you got it. That way I don't have to worry about having to say the number, the name, and not the name, but the numbers and the letters over again. And somebody already won. And I already went through that. But Crimson, I appreciate that, Mr. OG. So it is very, very much so appreciated, Mr. Comeback Season himself, for sending this email. And I look forward to, matter of fact, hold on, I think your email was up next, the second email that you sent me, if I'm not mistaken. So hold on. Yep. Again, Mr. Crimson Phoenix, I got your second email. Man, let me get my wording together. Good gosh. All right, here we go. All right, so this email is titled Salt in the Wounds, LMAO. So Mr. Crimson writes in, it says, thousands in money saved. I mean, plural. Since day one, I've been trying to let you all know. He talking to all of us here, fellas. He said, let you all know Game Pass is a great service. Yeah. Man, oh man. He continues, he says, the amount of high quality games in Game Pass saves me lots of money on games I wouldn't play again. Anyways, no need to own this brother in this ownership. Man, oh man. I told you this brother does this every single time, and I love it. He keeps on twisting that dagger in my side about the ownership. I appreciate this though, Crimson. My gosh. He says the amount of bleeping games in Game Pass, while few and far in between, where I didn't have to say what a waste of money. Wait. Let me read that again. He says the amount of games in Game Pass, while few and far in between, where I didn't have to say what a waste of money. Okay, I guess he's saying it wasn't a waste. Okay, he says the amount of high quality games in Game Pass that I would love to own and replay. Yes, I buy them. And yes, at a discount with my sub to Game Pass. Now, I will say, Crimson, okay, my good brother, I will say that is definitely a perk. When you have the service, you actually can buy those games and you can get them at a discount. I can't deny that. I can't refute that. That is absolutely awesome. But my only question for you, Mr. Crimson, is can you get that on the physical, brother? Can you get it physically with the discount? Is that possible, bro?
Move this man.
Oh, man, doggone, they booed me off the stage, brother. Golly. Listen, I know it's not apples to apples or oranges to oranges. I'm just saying physical, brother. Physical. But no, in all seriousness, Mr. Crimson Phoenix, I hear you, brother. It is a great deal. It is a fantastic, like I said, I guess, not just a perk, but it's a benefit to the service to actually have those games be available for a cheaper price. And y'all know me, man. If I can get anything for cheaper than regular price, I want to do it. I absolutely do. It draws me to it. I'm like a moth to a flame when it comes to a good sale, just something being cheaper. So I appreciate that. And I could see where that could be a real big benefit being inside of Game Pass. High quality games, the games that you want to play and buy, you can buy them at a discount. The games that you might not have ever played, you can actually play inside of the service. I was about to say for free, but it's not for free. You're paying for it. but it's inside of the service, so it is a benefit. Let me continue with your email. He says, save some money, y'all, especially in this day and age where I spend more on groceries a month than I do on mortgage, and a month's worth of fuel for 2 cars costs more than a year's worth of Game Pass at its old price. LMA. Oh, man, that's a bar, brother. That's a bar. That is some real truth. I actually went to the grocery store yesterday. And y'all know it's just me. I don't have children at all. Man, thank God in this climate I don't have any. And to shop just for 2 people, man, it was $200. About roughly, it was over $200. And that's for about a week and a half worth of food. And that's including me taking lunches to work. It costs that much. So I can't imagine. Man, my heart goes out to the ones who have children in this climate. So I'm with you on that, Crimson, that if you can save money, save it, especially in this day and age. And, oh, man, don't even get me started with the fuel. Man, at Sam's Club, it was $4.29 yesterday. And that was cheaper. That was cheaper than some places. So, yeah, it's super expensive, man. And gaming as a whole is an expensive hobby by itself. So if you can save the money inside of Game Pass, you would definitely be able to save a couple of dollars. But let me finish up here with your last part of the email here, Mr. Crimson Phoenix. He says, sad part is it's always been a great deal. And bro, you oh yeah, H-Blade, after hearing it wasn't good and or should be avoided, is a perfect example of why it's a good service and that you shouldn't listen to the people that do not align with your way of thinking. Bye for now, Crimson Phoenix. Shout out to you, good brother. Man, this was a good email, man. It really, really was. Listen, you guys know my stance on Game Pass. I've always been against it. I've never been one who has ever really believed in the service. I've always said to Crimson, man, we go back. We just have a friendly banter, man. And that's all it is. It's all in great, great fun. That I would always say, man, I'd just rather go out there and buy my physical games. I'm not worried about this Game Pass and having to pick it up every year or paying it on a monthly basis. I would make out cheaper just getting the games that I want. But inside of the service, to be fair, I mean, we heard C-Jack last week. He was talking about some of the games that were in there that I wasn't even aware of. He talked about Star Wars. Outlaws is in there right now. I had no idea. I was like, God, dog, that's a really, really good pickup. So that alone, having that kind of quality of games, and you got to understand, Star Wars Outlaws really isn't that old. I don't even think that game is 2 years old yet, and it's inside of Game Pass. So when you have that kind of quality, I will say that's pretty awesome. And it's hard to actually go against a service like that. Even if the games are going to be in there just for a certain amount of time, which is fully understandable. But again, to your point, Crimson, if I'm not mistaken, when they're about to take out some of these games, and you or C-Jack could let me know this, they do give you a warning, before it's about to go. And I do believe, again, that if it is a game that you like you had mentioned, Crimson, you would be able to pick it up on a discount. So you don't have to lose access to the game, even though it may be leaving the Game Pass service. You can still have access to the game because you'll buy it and, you'll be able to come back to it when you get ready. So again, from that standpoint, it is hard to refute, what Game Pass is able to bring. You got Flight Simulator in there, and their first party games are getting better. Crimson, man, like you said, brother, That H-Blade, when they were talking about, Senua Saga wasn't that good, and it was a step back from the first one. They didn't like it. I got to be honest here and fair. I didn't play all the way through the first one. I have it on PlayStation 4, but I haven't hooked up the PS4 in going on 5 years now. So, I never finished the game or anything like that. Those looking puzzles were getting on my last nerve. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to finish this. But in Senua Saga, the thing that I am loving the most, Crimson, is it doesn't seem to be as many looking puzzles as it was in the first game. And this thing is so cinematic. Oh my goodness, it's cinematical. And I don't even know if that's a word, but what they got going on, man, brother, I will tell you this, Crimson, and I don't want to jump the gun here because, sometimes I do temporarily lose my mind sometimes. But I will say that if Ninja Theory is working on another Senua's anything and they leave it exclusive on Xbox, man, I'm going to start sweating. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start sweating because I'm going to have to make some real decisions. Like, doggone, do I want to just go out and buy this console for this game? Like I say, everybody has a threshold. All of us, every last one of us, is something that we will say, oh, man, I don't want to do it, but I will. I might have to bend on that one. It just depends. And right now, Senua Saga, this thing is so dope. Oh, man. I would recommend, I know it's not for everybody, Crimson. I know it's not. It's a different kind of experience. It's not fast-paced. It's not open world or anything like that. It's not even semi-open world. This thing is one particular path, straight path, A to B all the way to Z. But just the presentation of it, man, it's so good. And I'll even say the gameplay. Some people might get on the gameplay for being a little basic and you don't upgrade or, you can't upgrade your sword or anything like that. Man, it just works though. It's like, I don't even need all of that. I love the experience that they are giving me right now. It is awesome. So that right there too, I will say, Crimson Phoenix, that also gives me more hope inside of the Xbox brand. I also want to check out South of Midnight. I can tell y'all that'll probably be the next Xbox game that I pick up on the PlayStation will be South of Midnight because that looks really, really good too. And again, if they can just continue to stack these wins of these games just being really, really well done. And if Sharma can figure this out, Crimson, if she can figure out what they want to do about exclusives, I want them to just keep their games on Xbox. Darn PlayStation, darn Nintendo. They ain't playing fair. They're not giving you any of their games. What are you doing? I mean, I understand PlayStation, they got MLB over there, but that wasn't their call. MLB told them, hey, man, spread that license or we're going to cut you off. So they were forced to do that. I know H-Divers is over there, but you're not getting any God of Wars. You're not getting any Uncharted's on the Xbox. It ain't going to happen. Nintendo ain't going to give you a Mario nothing over on Xbox. So I would just hope that they would have the same reciprocal energy. Reciprocate the same energy that is being given to you, which is pretty much they ain't giving you nothing. So get out there and say, well, guess what? We ain't giving y'all nothing either. So hopefully Asha, with Satya Nadella being in there, hopefully he gives her that, leeway. Because I can tell y'all right now, on Wednesday, I know exactly what I'm going to ask y'all. I'll let y'all know now. It's going to be about this. We found out that PlayStation, and we'll get into it a little bit more on Wednesday, but the $600 million, the games that were sold over on PlayStation from Xbox made a little over $600 million. Is that really enough money to tank your brand? That's going to be the question we're going to be talking about on Wednesday. But Crimson, as long as they can give me a reason to get the console, I will get the console. Game Pass, it probably still won't be for me, my brother. It probably will never be something that I actually subscribe to because I guess I'm just, I don't know. I guess I'm just old school and I just rather own the games and all of that stuff.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Man, listen. I'm just simply saying, Clemson, it's not for me. It's a great service. I understand that, brother. You get day and date for most of the games outside of Call of Duty. It's a great deal, but for me, I think I'm going to just stick with the a la carte kind of situation for myself, man, at least for the time being. Now, if games get up to like $90 and $100, then we might have to have a conversation if they get up that high. I mean, we talking about Nintendo numbers. They want them at $90 right now. Certain titles, of course. But until we get there, as long as they stick around $70, I'll be all right with that. But, once you go past that threshold, I don't know. We might have to have a bit of a discussion. But again, as always, Mr. OG, Crimson Phoenix, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much, man. All right, up next, man, I love reading Crimson's email. But up next, man, we got, the triple OG himself, Mr. Cody Clark. Now, this brother, the title of his email, and he's going to get into this physical situation a little bit more deeper. The title of his email is Physics of Physicality. Here we go. Sounds very scientific. He says, I saw a video that said between 80 to 90% of game sales revenue for just Sony is from digital sales. Digital sales, 80 to 90%. God, dog, Cody, I didn't know 80 to 90%. That's madness. Have we gotten to that point already? 80 to 90% are digital? Hey, man, Cody, you got to send me that article, brother. He says, man, that's scary. God, dog. He says the only way physical media for games comes back is if an indie studio led the way. He says, so unless like some studios end up having small trade shows with physical maps, discs, trading cards, sandwiches, moms taking care of the kiddos for a night and paying for gas while you take your better half out when you buy a copy. God, dog. Cody pretty much said this ain't happening. He said the only physical anything we have in our future K is making an appointment, waiting 6 weeks. Oh, shucks. Waiting 6 weeks, visit the doctor, bend over and cough. God dog it, Cody. I want to have some hope, brother. Can I please have some hope? He says, God dog, Cody, this is grim. This is bleak. This brother says, with the prices at Five Guys, in 10 more years, a 5G bacon cheeseburger meal will cost as much as a day one game. Man, food is absolutely ridiculous. Five Guys, man, listen, let me tell you something, Cody. I try to avoid Five Guys for the most part because they are so expensive. Man, they got a great burger. From what I understand, they give you the free peanuts and all of that stuff. It's not really my spot, but, the missus, she likes to go there. And I went in there and had a couple of peanuts while we waited. But, yeah, this is crazy. Cody said we ain't coming back. 80 to 90%. Cody, first off, brother, thank you for your email here, man. I appreciate you. Man, that good brother Cody said the only physical we are getting is from your primary doctor. God, dog. Listen, Cody, that 80 to 90% is wild. And that's just on Sony. You know what? Hey, man, we're here, man. Like I tell y'all, time is not a factor with you guys because I just appreciate y'all all being a part of the show. And I never want to just go zooming past anything that you guys are talking about. So let's look this up, Cody. Let's just see what Gemini tells us, as far as the physical rate goes. I'll even go with Xbox. How about that? We'll see what the physical, I guess how can I word it, Cody? I guess with the physical, the digital game sale percentages are on Xbox. So let's see what that is. In this day and age, what is the digital sales ratio versus physical ratio on Xbox? I don't know if I said that right, but hopefully the AI can figure it out.
The shift toward a digital-first ecosystem is significantly more pronounced than on other platforms. As of early 2026, the ratio has tipped heavily away from physical media, driven by hardware choices and subscription services. Here is the breakdown of the current digital versus physical landscape for Xbox. 1. Hardware sales ratio. Recent data from 2025 indicates that 66% of Xbox consoles sold in the U.S. were digital-only models, primarily the Xbox Series S and the newer all-digital Series 10 variants. Comparison. For context, PlayStation 5 sales were closer to a 50-50 split between disc and digital models during the same period. Market context. Because the Series S has been the entry-level volume driver for Microsoft, a huge portion of the user base has no physical drive at all, effectively making the ratio 100% digital for 2/3 of new owners. 2. Software sales and Game Pass influence. Yeah. The actual game purchase ratio is even more skewed toward digital. While industry-wide digital sales often hover around 80 to 90% for AAA titles, Xbox is the leader in this trend due to Xbox Game Pass. Subscription versus purchase. Many Xbox players don't buy games.
Oh, man. Oh, shucks. He was right, man. 80 to 90%. And we're talking about Xbox. Man, what about Nintendo? Nintendo, give me some good news. Doggone. What about Nintendo's physical to digital sales? Are they selling more physical copies of games on that platform or less? Oh, man. Now I'm nervous.
Unlike Xbox and PlayStation, Nintendo remains the final stronghold for physical media. While the digital shift is happening everywhere, Nintendo's audience still leans heavily into physical cartridges. As of early 2026, here's how the physical to digital ratio breaks down for Nintendo.
Let me know something.
The 50-50 balance. In Nintendo's most recent fiscal reports, early 2026, digital sales accounted for approximately 50.4% of total software sales. The DLC factor. Good. It is important to note that Nintendo's digital category includes things that cannot be physical, such as Nintendo Switch Online subscriptions, DLC, like the Mario Kart 8 tracks, and digital-only indie games. Physical strength. If you look strictly at major packaged games, the big titles like Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon, physical copies still frequently outsell digital ones. In the 2025 holiday quarter, physical sales actually made up 58.7% of all Nintendo games sold. 2.
So Nintendo, man, oh man, the great grandfather of these consoles, these jokers are keeping it true with them selling 58.7% of physical copies. Doggone. Keep holding on, Nintendo. Hold on. Golly, I just had no idea that Sony, man, I'm telling you, Cody, you really dropped the bombshell on me with that. That 80 to 90%, I did not know we were already in that stratosphere thus far. I mean, golly, so I hear you, Cody, when you're talking about just sheer numbers, when you're just talking about the reality of what we are facing today. I understand that it's looking real bleak out here for the physical copies for people like myself. Cody said they're going to have a convention where they're giving away maps, discs, and trading cards to get people to come in, and they're going to have to throw in a sandwich, some sandwiches to get you guys in the door to buy physical. This is so wild to me, and I don't want to keep on beating the same horse over and over again, but I am really, really concerned. I didn't know it was that bad. When you cross over 50%, that's already bad enough, but you're talking about 80 to 90? Man, listen, all I can do, and maybe I am being very, very unrealistic here, Cody Clark. Maybe I am, brother. I am willing to admit delusional even. I am sure I am going to be very delusional and in the minority of what I'm about to say. I understand this, but I still believe, that after getting this scare from PlayStation with the DRM and people not understanding exactly what was going on, I still believe Sony tried it and they just got caught out there, with them trying to slide in that DRM situation. Then they try to say, oh, it's not that big of a situation. You just check in one time and everything is good. I don't really believe that to be the case, but we can only go off of what they said, but I don't believe it. But after seeing this scare, that people got versus them being able to have access to their game library, Cody, I still believe physical can make a comeback, brother. Oh, shucks. God, dog. Joker said I crapped out. Man, listen, Cody, I guess we are just going to have to see, my brother. We are going to have to see what happens with this whole situation, physical and digital. I will say the numbers are weighing extremely heavily on your side of physical games never being able to make a big push. And if they were, Cody said, man, look, it's going to have to be the indie side. I would have to, I'll give you a little bit of pushback on that, Cody. Now, of course, you might have been, just joking around with that. But I will say, I would think that it would have to take one of the major players to actually do that physical push. Like CD Projekt Red, the way that their physical packaging is, it is amazing. They they take you back to that 90s era of sitting in the back seat, flipping through the booklet, getting acclimated with the characters before you actually start playing the game. They really, really give you that feel. Even Rockstar. Now, I don't know what they're going to do this time. I do not know. It's been years since we've gotten a Rockstar game. But I will say that even they would give you a map inside of, GTA 5. I have the map, from the Xbox One version. Came with a map. Who knows what's going to happen today? I even think in Red Dead Redemption 2, I got a map. So I do believe that would probably be the way to entice people to come back to the physical. And I get it. The younger guys, they probably could care less. This is more of I would say probably an older generation situation, kind of like myself. I'm 47. I'm pushing 50. So to these young guys, man, I'm ancient out here. I understand that. I get it. And they're like, man, ain't nobody on that wave no more, man. We just went digital. I get it. But I would say that I still believe it's a market out there if you give the value and not try to charge extra for it. Just throw it in there like you always did. With the physicals where you get the booklet, you get maybe a map, get a couple of stickers, maybe a redeem code to actually get some DLC armor or something like that for picking up the physical version. I understand it. It's a long shot and it probably won't make a bit of a difference, but I still just truly, truly believe that physical is the most important thing to have. And I get it. Crimson, OG Crimson always gets on me and says, man, you don't own that doggone game. It don't belong to you. I get it, Crimson. I get it. But I'm just simply saying, excuse me, guys. I'm just simply saying that I still believe that you have a better chance of at least having access to the game. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm purely going way off on the edge with that because they even proved that even on Xbox, they don't even put the full game on the disc. They don't even give you the full access on the disc. So I know I am fighting to a certain degree a losing battle. I get it. I do. But at least with a physical copy, at least during that generation. Now, again, we don't know what's going to happen in the next generation or whatever may have you, but at least you still can sell it. You can still do some things with it, whereas with the digital copy, you wouldn't be able to do anything but delete it or download it. So, of course, we will see, man. I hope that it's still a place for physical because the thing that I fear the most, the reason why I am always going to champion, I said it right for a change. The reason why I'm always going to champion physical discs is because I just believe that once you go all digital, these manufacturers, they control everything. And if they control everything, that means prices can go up. We've already seen these jokers been on the hot seat a little too much with all of the price increases here and decreases here, the DRM. These jokers been messing up, man. They haven't had a great track record lately. And matter of fact, they're getting sued. We're going to talk about that too on Wednesday. But, I just really feel like if you leave it up to them, the manufacturers, to actually determine how much you're going to be paying for games, man, they are going to try to kill us out there. And I get it. 80 to 90%, like you said, Cody, that's pretty much the whole market. But you still got some, not much, but you got a little bit of wiggle room out there, 10 to 20%, wiggle room, but again, that's the fear of mine when it comes to gaming, just being locked into an ecosystem where they pretty much get to tell you exactly how much you will be paying for your games, and you don't have any recourse to go anywhere where you're stuck. Now, again, I'm not trying to make this a serious issue. This is gaming. This is entertainment at the end of the day. The thing that I love the most as far as a hobby, gaming is nothing even remotely close to how much I love gaming. So for me, I just want to make, I would like to see it continue to be a situation where you can freely go out and buy your games in other places and catch deals, catch sales. And we get it. Their stores, PlayStation Store, Xbox Store, Nintendo's digital store, we know that they have some great deals, but sometimes, hey, the store, I don't think you can beat some of those prices, with the pre-owned games or whatever may have you, things of that nature, so I think that the physical side is very, very important in order to keep some level of balance out here, So I mean, we'll see what happens in the future. I can tell you that if they start trying to strip out the disk drives in the next generation of hardware, whether it's with the Helix or PlayStation 6, then we know exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to completely just wrap that thing up, and say, look, whatever we say goes. And that's the last thing we should want. Just like having one console manufacturer be the only place to go to. Because without competition, man, this stuff goes belly up, man. Stuff just ends up going so bad when it's no competition and a certain manufacturer has a monopoly on a whole industry. So, we'll see what happens, though. 80 to 90% is not looking good. But I guess we'll see what happens in the future. Shout out to you, Cody, for that wonderful, wonderful email, my brother. Man, even though it does show a bit of a grim, dark future when it comes to physical games. But let me move on into the next email oh, no, it wasn't an email. It is an email, but that's not in the order that I received it. So let me go to C. Jack. Brother C. Jack has called in yet again for another week. And let me see if I can pull up your voicemails here. Looks like you sent me 2 of them. So let's get to your first one, C. Jack. Here we go, my brother.
What's going on, Keys? C. Jacks, man. I was just hearing you I just wanted to give you an update, man, about you told me to go ahead and try to play that Space Marine. Bro, I played that Space Marine. I went to work the next day. My man was like, what's going on, Chris? I'm like, hell the Emperor. You know what I mean? Man, sorry for that. I'm at work, but yeah, man, that game was phenomenal. One of the best games I've played this year. And I'm going to Star Wars Outlaw next, big brother. Thanks for the info.
Man, shout out to you, C. Jack. I'm glad you liking it, my brother. Yeah, man. Hey, C. Jack, listen, brother. Man, I told you after I played that game, I'm literally looking on my gaming shelf, and I got the Warhammer 40K Captain Titus figurines. Like I said, I ain't know you had to paint them and put them all together. When I opened up the box, I'm like, man, what the heck is this? I'm looking for the figures, and it's like, nah, that's not how it works. You got to actually paint them and put them together. So I'm like, well, I just had a box up there, just for a keepsake, and that's about as far as I'm gonna go with it. But yeah, man, I became a fan. Similar to yourself, C. Jack, right away. Once I finished playing that game, I said, what the world can I do? What can I get? What kind of figure or something can I get to just have? Because I am now an official huge fan of Warhammer 40K. And it's so crazy, C. Jack, that this franchise has been around for so long. And shout out to Cody Clark for even giving us some insight over the last 2 weeks about, Warhammer 40K online. It was just one of those things where I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And like I said, C. Jack, I'm telling you, some people may think that I'm being very, very over the top when I say this, but I'm being genuine when I say that if they are not careful, them meaning Gears of War, those guys over at the Coalition, man, Space Marine is really, really on y'all back right now. I mean, true indeed. Truthfully, these guys, the boss battles, the world, the enemies, the graphics, man, it is something remarkable. And I would recommend any of y'all, if you have not checked out Space Marine 2, it's been on sale a couple of times. They got some DLC going on. I would highly recommend this title. It was so awesome, man. And I'm just glad. I'm so happy, C. Jack, because the last thing I want to do is, tell somebody about a game and hype it up. I know I'll be so excited sometimes when I'm talking about these games, but I never wanted to be a situation where it's like, man, that was a dud. Keys was wilding on that one. I don't know what he was thinking. That wasn't even close to the expectations that he set for me to think that this game was one thing, and it ended up being a totally different situation. So again, C-Jack, I'm so glad that you are enjoying that, my brother. I'm still trying to find a Titus already put together, figurine that I can put on my gaming shelf. I'm still trying to find one. I know that they can get expensive too, so I will put the caveat out there. I'm not trying to spend like $150, on one of the figurines, even though they are really, really nice. But I'm still just trying to find one that's moderate, $30 to $40, somewhere around there, maybe even quite possibly even $50, but, just something as a keepsake just to have on the shelf, on the gaming shelf with everything else, just to show the love for that franchise, man. So again, C-Jack, they're working on the third one right now, brother. That's going to be a day and date for me right there. Well, maybe not a day and date. I haven't bought day and date in quite some time. Last game I bought that was even close to day and date, I got it like a day later, was Reanimal. And I still haven't even played that yet. Mafia. I did get Mafia Old Country, the Old Country. But that wasn't even day and date. I bought that like 2 days later. So, I haven't done day and date in quite some time, man. The only game that I might almost can guarantee I will get day and date. It depends on the day it comes out. It might be Grand Theft Auto 6 because everything is going to get dropped. I can guarantee you whatever I'm in the middle of is going to get dropped immediately. Once GTA 6 comes out, because I want to definitely, see if what they're talking about in that game is real. Matter of fact, hold on. I do want to share this with y'all. I got this from the good brother AB, and this actually pertained to GTA 6. So he has sent me hold on. He sent me it wasn't an article, but it was something on Instagram where it said, okay, now this might take a little bit, but this is about GTA 6. And shout out to you, AB, for sending me this. It says GTA 6 costs $2 billion to make. $2 billion is nuts, but it costs $2 billion to make. But the real reason it becomes the most expensive game ever isn't the budget. It's what they built inside it. So this is actually coming from wealthy.setup. You can find them over on Instagram. It says, okay, so here's one of the features. It says Rockstar didn't just build a bigger map. They built a living economy with real consequences. Vice City breathes, reacts, and remembers everything you do inside it. Says 65%. This was huge. If this is actually true, this is going to be revolutionary inside of gaming. It says 65% of buildings are fully enterable. Previous GTA games locked you outside almost everything. Now you can walk into most of Vice City and explore it floor by floor. So can you imagine seeing a condo in the distance, and you actually drive there in your car. You get out in front of the condo and you can actually enter it and go. Now, this might be a little, I don't know. I was going to say you could go up like 24 floors or however tall the building is. I don't know if they're going to get that detailed, but just the fact that you will be able to go into allegedly 65% of the buildings inside of this game is going to be sensational, and walking floor by floor through each section of the building. That's going to be crazy. They also said the game has a social network built directly inside it. commit a crime and witnesses pull out phones to film you. Those clips spread across the in-game platform like wildfire. So if you're doing crimes, they catch you on their phone, they upload it. Sure, the cops is going to get out there after you. They're going to have your mug, on the phone or whatever the case may be. Oh, man, I can't believe it. I saw that guy. If they're saying that the world is going to be reactionary and things of that nature, it's going to be crazy. Says your character's body changes based on how you live. Train at the gym and your character gets bigger. Eat fast food constantly and the weight shows up on screen. Okay, so they're going back to San Andreas. We've heard that before in the past, too. It says police operate with actual tactical logic. Dogs, riot shields, flanking maneuvers. They study your patterns and cut off your escape routes before you see them coming. So, listen, this was so much that AB sent me. I guess we'll finish it up on Wednesday's show because there's quite a few more things to go over with this. But I just thought it was so incredible. Just the level of detail that is going to be inside of this game. Just thinking about it from the standpoint of just being able to go inside of the buildings is nuts. And I will say, I know I had told you about this C-Jack 2, Days Gone. Days Gone. Whew. That game was so phenomenal. And one of the things that made that game so awesome was you too could enter into a lot of buildings in that game. And when I say buildings, again, similar to the Grand Theft Auto 6 situation, you could go up a floor. You could literally go up on the second floor of the homes, jump out on the roof, and, jump down from there. It was so awesome. It was incredible. Now, again, I don't know if it was 65%. I know it was a whole lot, C-Jack, of buildings you could go in, and it had interiors. You could find stuff in there. It was so dope. So just for that, I'm just very, very excited about Grand Theft. The cops actually sicking dogs on you. I don't even remember that in any Grand Theft Auto. I guess we'll have to stay tuned and see what happens with that in the future. But C-Jack, let me see, brother. Yeah, you actually did send. Yeah, you sent the email too. Okay, yeah, I thought so. I started getting a little worried because I saw it earlier. I'm like, wait a minute, did I misplace it? But now here it is. So C-Jack wrote in and he said, now the title of his email is, no, this is Cody. Nah, hey, C-Jack, do I have your email? There it is. I got it. All right, so the title of C-Jack's email is Form Disc 2. ... All right, he says, I completely agree with you, Keys. My man, that's what I'm talking about, C-Jack. He says, I like my physical copies of games, always have and always will. But I have to be honest. Oh, shucks. Uh-oh. He says, I haven't bought a physical copy of a game since Nintendo came. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man. This brother got me excited. I thought we was rocking together. See, Jack, that brother said, however. Oh, man. Let me read that again. He said, I have bought, okay, here we go. Let me start over. He said, I completely agree with you, Keys. I like my physical copies of games, always have and always will. But I have to be honest, I haven't bought a physical copy of a game since Nintendo came out with the Mario collection with Sunshine and Galaxy. I have that collection. As I'm getting older with a family, it's just more convenient to buy the games right off the game store. I'm hurt, C-Jack. Oh, man, I'm hurting, brother. Oh, my gosh. C-Jack said, listen, brother, I'm with you. 1,000%. I love the physicals. However, I got a family. You know, I'm getting older. It's just more convenient just to buy the games right off the store. Oh, man, he says Microsoft, PlayStation, Steam. He says, for you and the family. Back in the day, I would have the energy to be like, yeah, that game came out today. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get that now. You can preload the game. Oh, no. He says you can preload. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. He says, back in the day, I would have the energy to be like, yeah, that game came out today. I'm going to go get it now. You can preload the game the day before and play it as soon as it comes out. Oh, man. He says the way we're going in technology, it feels like buying a disc is going to be a thing of the past. But they might change the format from disc to something else. And I would love to see that happen. He says, I will be interested to see the new format of physical gaming. Interesting, C-Jack. I like that twist at the end. Interesting. C-Jack, even though, brother, you hurt me, brother. Man, goodness gracious. I'm battered and bruised between you and Cody Clark. Y'all done whipped me today, man. My gosh. Oh, man. And shockingly, Crimson Phoenix didn't. Oh, man. Listen, C-Jack, I got to tell you, brother, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. I'm holding on to a time of yesteryear, where, the disc was everything, man. It was, you went to the store. You would go to the grocery store and they would have the demo discs inside of the magazines back in the day that you would look forward to them doggone discs, but, to your point, C-Jack, it was just a different time, man. Today, in today's time, like you said, back in the day, I would have been like, yeah, man, that game came out today. I'm driving, or I'm walking to the mall to get that. Right now, I'm going to GameStop or Best Buy. I'm going to pick that up on the way in. But it's like, man, keys. Nowadays, you can just download it, pre-download it, I'm sorry, the day before the game comes out, and you don't even have to burn the gas to go get it. Or, spend your time walking to go get it. That's a tough one, C-Jack. Oh, man, it's true. It's true, man. It's convenience. Convenience is, it's so convenient. It makes you not want to or have the need, to be fair, to do certain things that we used to have to do years ago. I will say, though, C-Jack, you gave me just a glimmer. You didn't leave me completely in the dumps, brother. Just beat all up and just threw me in the gutter somewhere. You did give me a glimmer, just a slight glimmer of hope, where you had said, and I want to quote you here, C-Jack, because I do like this. C-Jack said he'll be interested to see the new format of physical gaming. And I think that could be a bit of a conversation, because I do understand that the discs that we have right now, to be fair, I don't think that they can hold the amount of data that these games have. I know that Forza 6 is going to be, I don't want to go too crazy, but I think it's over 100 gigs. I don't have to guess. Hold on. Because this will go to your point, C-Jack. how many gigabytes is Forza Horizon 6 to download? It's some crazy amount.
Actually, that 3 gigabytes file you're seeing is likely just a placeholder file or a small pre-install launcher. As of today, May 3rd, 2026, the actual download sizes for Forza Horizon 6 have just been revealed, and they are massive. Since the game is set in Japan and features the largest map in the series to date, the storage requirements have spiked significantly. Official install sizes, launch day, platform, estimated download size.
Yeah.
Xbox Series 10, S-MIMES, PC, Windows/Steam. Approximately 157 gigabytes. Why are you seeing 3 gigabytes? If you are trying to install...
I don't even need to hear no more. 157 gigs. I was about to just say a little over 100. How? I got no disc hole that god dog. So, to your point, C-Jack, I wonder, will there be a different format that can actually hold? That is a lot. That it could be a disc even created that could hold that much on it. 157 gigs is outrageous. So I would think that if it was to continue, C-Jack, they would have to come up with maybe some kind of other format that is physical that could hold this much data. It's interesting. I don't know if it will happen. You know me, C-Jack. I'm holding on to the past. like a person trying not to be sent to jail. They holding on to everything they can not to be taken in there. You know, so I'm just holding on to the fact of, you know, it always being physical available. But again, to you and Cody Clark's point, it's just so convenient, man, to just do it from your home and not to worry about it. But who knows, maybe it will be a different format that could possibly happen. I would hope it does. I hope so. You know, I would hope the physical never fully leaves. But, you know, it's not looking good. I will say that. I'm not going to harp on it too much more, C-Jack, but I really, really appreciate your email, and I appreciate your honesty, brother. You know, just looking at it from a time-saving standpoint, looking at it from the standpoint of you have a family, you know, you're getting older. The older you get, you don't really want to be ripping and running, and that's even for me. I'm not trying to leave the house for just anything, you know, so I definitely understand your stand, C-Jack, and I would be being disingenuous if I didn't say that my digital library has grown over the years. It has definitely grown a little bigger and a little bigger as the years have gone past. So, you know, I get it, C-Jack. I'm just holding on to the hope that maybe one day we'll return, maybe not fully to physical, because that's just being completely unrealistic. But I'm hoping that physical never fully goes away. But only time will tell, man. But C-Jack, you sent me another voicemail. And let me pull that. At least I thought you did. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So C-Jack, I guess you're going again, man. Ride us out into the sunset, my brother. Here we go, man.
Hey, Keys, I forgot to tell you, brother. You know what I'm saying? That Space Marine is on Game Pass, bro. So they got that songs up. Man, Game Pass is doing it big, man. I can't lie.
Man, I think they might have got good brother C-Jack on Game Pass. Oh, man. Oh, man. Woo! They got Space Marine 2 on Game Pass. Brother. had no idea, man. They got Star Wars Outlaws, and they got Space Marine 2 on there, and their other first-party type. Man, God, dog. God, dog. And these jokers out here flexing like that inside of the service. Crimson. Man, good brother Crimson Phoenix said, man, listen, I have saved moolah dealing with these jokers. He said, I have saved.
Show me the money.
That brother said he is saving the money, god dog. Show him the money, he will say Game Pass is the reason why I'm able to have some money in my pocket, doggone it. She whiz. Hey, C-Jack, yeah, brother, I didn't know that. I didn't know they was hitting like that, brother. I mean, listen, I know they got a couple of games in there, here and there. But, man, that and Star Wars Outlaws, whew, that's crazy. I mean, really. I mean, what can I say? You know, when, man, oh man, that joker took my breath away. God, dog. When, man, I'm stuttering. When you do something that great inside of your service and you're giving that kind of value and you drop the price of the service, oh my gosh. Jeez. You can't do anything but honor that. That is so incredible, man. Oh, wow. I don't even know what else to say. Listen, man, they got some bargaining chips here over on Xbox's side with Asha Sharma doing the things that she's doing, having the track record that she's having, you know, making the moves that she's doing. They really have a chance. Sony is not in the best light right now. I understand that Soros just released, you know, Wolverine will be coming out later on this year. But PR around Sony is not good right now. It's not good. And around Xbox, I understand that they lost some money. Their sales were down. Console sales were down by 33%. That's bad, but I don't think anybody was expecting anything less with Asha just getting in there, just a little shy of over 60 days in the position. But outside of that, they have been putting on a clinic of great news. Constantly great news. Even Jason Ronald came out there, C-Jack, and told people that if they were having trouble with the backwards compatibility that we talked about on Wednesday, hit him up in the DM and they'll problem solve with you to get the problem fixed. And I think that more recently the problem has been fixed. And a couple of gamers actually corroborated with that story and said, yes, I'm no longer having that problem. They are jumping on stuff, and in days, C-Jack, days, they're moving with so many things that are just such goodwill. I'm telling you, if this is the Xbox that I love, man, this is the Xbox that this kind of branding, this kind of leadership, this is what made me an Xbox fan through and through. When they were doing things like this. And I'm going to tell you, C-Jack, I'm going to tell all of y'all that if they continue with this trajectory, all they got to do, and I know it's the biggest hurdle, but all they have to do is let me know that I can no longer get my games over on PlayStation that come from them. Soon as they tell me that, and with their track record so far, from what I've played, Senua Saga, man, they got me hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker with that game. Wherever that game goes in the future, I'm going to want to be there, especially if I can't get it on another console. But if they can tell me that, look, from this point forward, all of our games are going to be just on Xbox. I understand PC is going to be there. That's whatever. It's cool. But on console, I'm going to tell you, man, I don't know, man. They might have a brother. I'm dead serious. Just the moves that they're doing. I can't salute them enough for these amazing moves that they've been doing thus far. Game Pass is really looking like some real value is up in there. I'm just real excited, man. Shout out to you, C-Jack, for letting me know that. Didn't know I said C-Jack. Didn't know the Game Pass was rocking like that. You and Crimson, y'all were definitely on your Game Pass kick this week. That's crazy how that went together with each other, But yeah, man, I feel like I'm rambling at this point. But yeah, man, just shout out to you, C-Jack, for that voicemail. I appreciate it, man. Just Xbox, keep on doing what y'all doing, man. I am really, really cheering for y'all on the sideline. I really am. I have only a PlayStation 5, never intended on getting an Xbox. I didn't like how the brand was going. I didn't like the leadership inside of Xbox. So I didn't think that they would ever be able to win me back as a customer. But like I say, I'm big on giving people their respect and their props when they earn it. And right now, I'm looking and I'm like, man, they might have a chance to get a brother back in the fold, So we'll see what happens. We'll see what continues to happen. But it is a very, very exciting time. I know for you Xbox fans out there, I truly am an Xbox fan. I really am. I love PlayStation. I love what they've done. They have definitely not been without a ton of faults this generation. They have really done some bad moves. Horrible moves, man. With having, the multiplayer situation, they wanted to release like 12 or 14 of those kind of games. I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's their kryptonite. I don't care what anybody says. They got one hit, H-Divers 2. The other ones have been duds thus far. And that's even including, what's the latest game that they came out with? I can't even remember the name of the doggone game. Begins with an M, Marathon. That ain't moving the charts. So, I don't know. They're a little weak right now. They're vulnerable. And if Xbox and Asha Sharma, which she definitely seems like she is very smart, and if they're smart enough, they could use this to their advantage. They got the cheapest console for next generation. Well, current generation. They can build off of that. They can. But listen, I'm rambling at this point. Before we go, I have to again shout out Mr. OG, officially today, OG, Crimson Phoenix, quadruple OG, Cody Clark, and Mr. Consistency himself, C-Jack, for all writing and calling in this week. I truly appreciate you, good brothers, and I also would be remiss if I didn't thank you, the listeners, for tuning into this episode. Thank you all so very much. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, we got a lot to talk about on Wednesday. I got to tell you, it is something that is happening this week. Again, some of y'all probably already know, But Xbox is about to hit us over the top again later on this week with some news. And we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. But until then, until Wednesday, get out there and play some games and enjoy yourself. See you guys again on Wednesday.